Okay, I want to show you an engineering firm that I think is probably doing a lot of things right. And I don't know anything about their business beyond what I can find online, really what I'm seeing on the website. So I'm not going to pretend to know what is happening internally, but my guess is that they're a good firm. They have good project photography, pretty clean, minimalistic visual identity, and the site is simple to navigate. It's easy. My gut tells me that this firm does a lot of their work through referrals and relationships with architects, other engineers, and other people that they've worked with, which is probably why the website hasn't needed to work particularly hard for them. But I think that's also where there's a big opportunity. So when I first land on this website, I'm looking at a slideshow of structural construction photos. They're interesting images, but I don't actually know what I'm looking at, what project they're from. And the biggest issue is there's no text telling me who this firm is or what they do. The first actual information that we get is where they're licensed. And then I have to scroll through 6 project types. Again, beautiful imagery. Great to know what sectors that they work in. Before I finally get to a paragraph that explains that they're a structural engineering firm. That paragraph basically says we provide complete structural engineering services and we work on everything from high-end residential to large commercial projects. And I'm sure that's true, but it doesn't really help me understand why I should call their office instead of another structural engineering firm. And that's where I think the website is missing an opportunity. They have great work, it looks like. They are obviously investing in photography, and based on the amount of work they clearly have experience, but they're not really telling me anything substantial about the firm. And I think that's especially important for an engineering firm because you're often not the one making the final decisions. You're part of a larger project team. An architect or a developer or a contractor is looking for somebody that they can trust to work with and communicate well. Someone that can solve their problems and make the project better. I would want this website to tell me more about that relationship. What's it like to work with you? What do you bring? What problems do you solve? Why do people keep coming back? Those are stories that the website can tell. It just has to do it. As we look through, we look at their project pages here. I'm glad that they have project pages. It seems like it's something that they are keeping up to date with, which is great. But their project stories are very brief. They're kind of engineering focused, which it's okay to be technical. You know, here's how big it was, here's a constraint that we had. But I think that I would want to turn these into stories. What was the challenge? What made the project difficult? What did the team have to figure out? How did you really contribute to the final product? Because those are a thing that another architect or a developer or a contractor is going to look at and see, oh, we're having the same issue. We should reach out. I think that there's a very good firm hiding in this website, and there are hints of it along the way. The careers page is a slice of that. There's personality. There's camaraderie. You're showing your people working outside of work, picnics, softball teams. Like there's personality here, personality that the rest of the website is really lacking. If I were to bring on a client in a similar situation, we wouldn't necessarily jump right into a website redesign because we would want to understand who they actually want to work with, what makes them different, and why do clients keep choosing them over and over again? Then we would take that information and we would build a website around that. I would tend to put the people closer to the front and make it immediately obvious that they're a structural engineering firm. We would work on that project storytelling element, and potentially there could be a zone where we tell clients how we work with them, because I don't think that they necessarily need to become a better engineering firm. They're obviously doing pretty good. I think that they need to become better at showing people why they should choose them.